of gun control laws, which had a provision to disallow the sale of automatic weapons to anybody under 21 years old. A cualquier persona menor de 21 años. One of the things that we're seeing, one of the common denominators that we're seeing in these horrible shootings is that usually the shooter is a young person under 21 that has had access to semi-automatic weapons, right? And now I don't understand why anybody should be carrying a semi-automatic weapon. Good morning. Good morning. I don't understand why, but anyway, that's one of the pieces that we had in the package, right? Then we had another provision which limit the magazines, right, on the weapon itself. Teníamos otra cláusula que limita la recarga. Now I saw the weapon that was used, the gun that was used, the murder of the two police officers. It was horrible. It had like a round magazine with 40 bullets in it. It was like a handgun, like a 9mm handgun with a magazine with 40 bullets in it. Era como un arma de fuego con una recarga como de 40 balas. El arma que se utilizó para asesinar a los policías. So we want to limit that too. Bump stops, right? We also wanted to put limits on bump stops, right? The package also have prescription, like regulation on how do you store safely the weapon, right? Había otra cláusula de cómo uno guarda el arma de fuego de una manera segura para que los niños no tengan acceso a él. And it also had the ghost gun bill, which is my bill, right? Ghost guns are sort of like a kit that you get in your house, and you assemble them, and at the end of the day, you have like a semi-automatic weapon. And it has no index number, it's not traceable, you get it in the mail, it has no, you avoid getting a background check. And so, that was also in the package, right? It was, I believe, seven bills, eran 7 proyectos que estaban en el paquete que nosotros aprobamos, the package that we supported and approved. Then it went to the Senate, as many things do, right? As they have to. Cuando se le fueron al Senado. Y el Senado lo cambió. And what they agree on is the following. They agree for the 21-year-old provision. They don't say that you cannot sell to somebody that's under 21. What they say is that if you're going to sell to somebody that's 21 or under, you got to do extra background checks. And the red flag law, which means if somebody shows a behavior that's troubling or something like that, that's a red flag, and then you have to really take a deep dive and figure out whether they're safe or not. They take away the ghost gun bill, but the ghost gun has already been dealt with administratively by ATM. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms already placed regulations signed by the president to sort of like govern and regulate ghost guns, the index number, only the manufacturer, accounting. So that's taken care of administratively. I mean, we wanted to codify it. We wanted to make it law, and we're going to continue to push to make it law. But the president and ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearm, has already taken care of it. It doesn't include any of the safety safeguards to store a weapon. It doesn't have the magazine or the bump stop, but it does have red flags, and it has not selling weapons to anybody, or doing more of a background check on young people. So it's limited, right? But it's a step in the right direction. Él está limitado lo que será lo que por primera vez es un paso en la línea correcta y por eso yo lo voy a apoyar. That reason I don't know if DA wants to weigh in on.
No, I support all of that, those efforts and more. I think we really need the help of the federal government and the federal authorities to help us. In New York State, we have some of the toughest gun laws in the country. So we are covered as far as the law is concerned, but it still hasn't stopped the violence that we're still seeing. So the laws are one thing, but we still need to do more to make sure that, you know, those guns don't come into the Bronx, for, at least for us, right, in the first place, that these guns, like, we don't, one thing for sure, the guns are not made here in the Bronx.
No.
Unless we're talking about the ghost guns that people could order on the internet.
Correct.
And make them in their house. So that's what makes them even more dangerous, like the congressman said, because there's no licensing requirements, no background checks, no serial numbers, no nothing. So I'm glad that ATF and the president saw a way to close that loophole. But that law doesn't take effect until August of this year.
Correct.
But in the meantime, if you go to the websites of the ghost gun companies where they sell these kits, like the guns are not totally together, you've got pieces and then you put them together. You can go on the internet and YouTube and learn how to put them together and they make the guns. Well, those companies now, knowing that that law is coming in effect by August, are advertising like crazy. Buy them now, it's going off the shelves, it's insane.
It's like a,
And yeah, you know.
like a Memorial Day sale.
Yeah, like get you know, sold out, like different ones are already sold out. And it, you know, it's very troubling.
Flooding the market.
And we knew that that would happen, you know. So not only am I the DA of the Bronx, but I'm also a co-chair of an organization, a national organization called Prosecutors Against Gun Violence. And it's myself and my co-chair from Santa Barbara, California. We wrote letters to the credit card companies asking them, don't let your cards be used for people to buy these ghost guns over the internet. And, you know, of course, they said, well, if it's not illegal, we can't tell our cardholders what to do. Visa never answered us. MasterCard did, and we had a meeting with them, but they told us the same thing, it's not illegal, but we'll work with you, middle ground, any kind of compliance or whatever. But in the meantime, I asked them, okay, you know it's going to be illegal by August. Stop it now, because what's more harmful to the Bronx is that we've had at least 3 homicides in the Bronx where a ghost gun was used to kill the person. One was the 16-year-old high school student who was walking home from school, and a 17-year-old is the one who's accused of killing her. He had a ghost gun. So again, that's under 21, 17 years old, and he used it and killed another kid. There was a shooting Taco Bell worker. He had a couple of ghost gun cases already, and because they weren't illegal necessarily, he had a couple of cases we were trying to get him on, and then he used a ghost gun to kill somebody in Taco Bell. So, you know, it's a real problem. So we need the help of the federal government. So I stand shoulder to shoulder.
So why don't we go around so you could introduce yourself? Let's go around and introduce yourself first. So we know. Starting right here. The young lady here.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Shakiva Harris, and I'm a native Bronx resident from the neighborhood. I'm also a Lehman College graduate and a United States lead paint inspector.
All right.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Dorothy Ashbabea, and I'm a Bronx native now. Originally from Queens, but I've been here most of my life. I am retired from the New York City Department of Health. And I worked in Rikers Island for 23 years as a civilian. I worked in all the medical clinics. I also worked with the district attorney's office to assist people to get into residential drug treatment programs. That was part of my job as a clinic person. And again, I was a patient educator, and all of my patients were HIV positive and also addicted to drugs, and many of them had mental health problems. So I had to work with them. Mental health, social worker, and therapist, and I also worked in Central Harlem on 5th Avenue on 35th Street at their clinic. I worked at the health department clinic as well on 169th and Fulton Avenue in the Bronx, and also in Queens on Boston Boulevard. And a lot of people say, oh, why are you going to Rikers Island with those people? while they're away. And my concern was to effectively help people to kind of get back on the road. You're not throwaway people. You have medical problems. You have psychiatric problems. So the health department is in every single facility to assist people in every way that we can.
Very much.
My name's Elizabeth Tobier. I live in Norwood. I'm at home in 205, and I work for the Episcopal Church Foundation, and I support Congressman Esteban, and I just wanted to meet him. So I'm glad to be here.
Diga su nombre, por favor.
Mi nombre es Juana Gómez.
Juana Gómez is
Soy
her
ha
name.
sido seguidora de usted.
She's following me.
Vengo del lado oeste de la 125 en Manhattan.
Oh, she came from 125th Street.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
That's- He's coming from 233rd Street in the Bronx. He's following me.
Got a fan club here. All right.
Well, yeah.
My name is Aguilar Monte. I am an community activist, and I'm always following him.
Eddie Almonte. Su nombre.
Thank you. My name is Ali. I all time be around Miami. I am Dominican. I am Spanish. Long time. I am the trader of meet with you. I would like to be my godmother. I have a situation, long time situation that involves different subjects. And I really need you, man. And I am available to get with you, authorizing you to take control about all things that involve my family. I thank you God for that opportunity.
You want some guys?
Again, become my godmother.